The best part was when I went and landed, right? The runway is like literally on the shore, surrounded by water. And I'm like,
Ooh.
and I traveled in the day. So when you look down, it's like when you look in the atlas, right? Like how you see water and then
Yes,
these
yes, yes, yes.
like little,
Dot,
little,
dot,
little
dot, dot
spawns
here and
of
there.
land, right? That's how exactly it looked, and it was like too good to be true. The blue sea with the white sand all over, and it's all sea, 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 sea. And so I just landed into one runway which just had water all over. Like one slight slip, you would just be like, in
सीधा
the
स्कूबा
water.
डाइविंग हो जाएगा, सीधा स्कूबा डाइविंग.
Exactly. It'll turn into a submarine then.
Submarine, that's all.
Today, our water baby Refi is grinning ear to ear, and it's very obvious why.
Yeah, I'm very predictable that way, But there is a proper reason, okay? We are heading to a water everywhere wala gorgeous destination today.
Welcome you all to our travel podcast, Misadventures of a Sneaker. As promised, in this season, we are taking you to एक से बढ़कर एक destinations and with such fabulous storytellers as guests. All we can say is happy vacation.
Yeah.
Today's destination is a gorgeous island in Philippines called Puerto Princesa. Did I get the name correct, Revati?
Quite a tongue twister, no?
True. A small island which is also a UNESCO site and a 7 Wonders of Nature's location.
Ooh.
And we have the adventurous Rakshitha taking us there. It was her first solo trip, and man, what a trip it was. From a lot of chill hammock time at the white sand beach to exploring the island on an ATV, then going caving in an underground river and coming face to face with pythons.
And godly here actually meant pythons, like the plural S. We are really so excited about this trip. But just before we start, let's take a quick break. Hey, do you know we write a travel-themed newsletter every week?
Yeah, and in every newsletter, we write about different destinations and travel experiences from around the world. In fact, you will get lots of details about this particular episode too in our newsletter. Photos, itineraries, stay and food recommendations, and of course, a great place to connect with us. If you have any questions, head over to misadventuresofasneaker.substack.com.
That is misadventuresofasneaker.substack.com. You will find the link in our bio too. Thank you. Let's start our conversation. So Rakshitha, welcome to our podcast. We call ourselves the Misadventures of a Sneaker. I remember one of our first conversations a few months back when you were still deciding on which destination or experience you wanted to speak about on the podcast. And the whole conversation where you had multiple such interesting stories and destinations and all, I was so fascinated on which one you would be talking, especially because we got introduced to each other through one of our earlier guests who came in the show, Sangeeta. She was there in the first season of our podcast where she and another friend of ours, George, took us on a trail around the Ponniyin Selvan locations, Tanjavur and all of that. She loved listening to your stories, how you travel, some of your solo vacations, some of your trips with your dog. Right. Pixar, by the way, will we see Pixar somewhere in between?
No, definitely no. So I've put him out.
I was really hoping he would do a special appearance sometime.
Then it would be only him and you, and I would be out, like So, yeah. Probably you can do an episode with him.
I was going to say that we can plan that at the end of this.
Yeah.
So she was really fascinated by the stories that you were narrating to her. And so we're very happy to have you and to listen to your stories, your travel stories, your experiences, all of it. So welcome to our podcast.
Thanks again. And this is my first podcast experience ever, and I'm so excited to share. It's like wow, okay.
It's always nice. So that's one thing that we always try, that we ask our guest which is their favorite vacation. So that then they get to think, they're like, no, that was a favorite. No, the other one had something more than
Right.
that. And then they chose
Yeah.
the favorite one. And then you get so involved in talking about it that it becomes extra masti bhara kind.
So true. And I'm so excited because this is so nice. When I share, I kind of revisit that, right? So it's like
Always.
reliving the holiday again. So yeah.
And it causes great FOMO to both of us. So and I'm especially a crazy FOMO person. After the entire Ponniyin Selvan episode that we did on our podcast, I booked the entire trip and I did the whole thing sometime late last year. And we
Okay.
did it. And I have now my next trip planned where I'm going to several of the coastal Kerala towns where, one of our guests, Ninja, took us in our podcast earlier.
Right.
Actually, same thing happened with Godly as well. After we did an episode on Dharamshala
McLeod.
Oh, McLeodganj. Wow, wow.
So she and her friend, both of them headed there, and they spent an entire week just in McLeodganj and Dharamshala, exploring the entire place.
Wow, wow.
And
the
both of us.
Tibetan monastery there and the cafes there are like mind blowing. I think just around, right? It's like too good. And
I love the place. I mean, it's very touristy, but it's still lovely. It's lovely.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. So I think back when I had been, probably it wasn't that crowded though. Like that was sometime in 2015, 14.
Yeah, again, it's season dependent. So I went there, I think maybe 2 years back in the month of early December. So it wasn't crowded that time at all. It was nice and cold, and you have to wear a jacket. And it was so nice. And hot momos and that thuppa and all of that. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll enter into one another conversation altogether, I think.
So true. Yeah.
I know. So I'm starting off with an extremely vain question. Do you have any favorites from all our podcast episodes that you've heard over the last few months?
The safari, like that was one thing that was very exciting.
You're the fourth person who's coming on our podcast and recommending the MP Safari one,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so Rakshitha, before we start talking about your destination that you've spoken about, or rather that you've told us about, so we don't know each other that well, and our listeners are listening to you for the first time. So we do some kind of travel-related, get to know you better kind of segment or questions. So,
perfect.
Godly.
Okay, I'll better be nice to Godly.
So once I heard that you have a dog, all my questions just automatically became related to the dog question.
We are very animal people.
So we want to know like how you used to travel solo, like so now you're I've heard from Revati that you also travel with your dog. So I want to know like how has traveling with your dog changed your traveling experience overall compared to how you used to travel alone, and any dog friendly travel hacks that has saved you or made your journey real smooth or the experience really fun.
So traveling solo, what happens is I really don't have an itinerary as such. I would just do a basic sketch and I would go there and explore. That's how it's always been. So in that, most of the solo travel trips is more like to open up myself and to just live in the holiday and then just go local there and experience whatever is there, to collect experiences basically. I don't plan anything like too much. It's just a basic plan and I just check for the safety stuff and all of that and I just like go ahead.
Wow.
So when it comes to traveling with Pixar, like with my pet, so I'll have to do a basic planning. First, I'll have to check whether it's pet friendly. And in India, one thing is like we still don't have many pet friendly places.
True.
So I'll really have to look for something. So mostly we have done camping with him. That is one thing very interesting. And we check if he's also interested. That's one thing. So it's not just that like, we are traveling and we just tag him along. So that's also very important. And we see how he is also able to cope with the whole thing and his food and all of it. It's like having a child, like we just have to sort out Yeah, we just have to sort out like, all of these stuff and travel. So it comes with a little added responsibility, but the fun part is really nice, especially when we take him to the beach, he enjoys like to the core. So
Oh
that's like,
my.
yeah, all of us like are in it. So it's that way it's like super fun. It's like the gang gets bigger, right? Like, and when
Yeah.
we see him have fun, like we also like enjoy, and the energy kind of, just he just brings out all the energy from us, like, so yeah, that's a very different experience. So that way, like,
Oh, that's so
this
cute, man.
so
Where
true,
did you
yeah.
guys go camping?
So camping, we went to this place near Pondi. So
Hmm.
it's called Pichavaram. So basically, what happened was we took our tents, and then we didn't find any place in Pondi, basically with Pixar. So we
Hmm.
decided, okay, like let us just go, like, try this one night thing, and that's how. But we had stuff sorted. We had basic, the food and everything like sorted
Correct.
with us. So like,
Correct.
yeah, it was a one night out experience. So that's how
Oh,
it was.
nice.
Yeah.
Ah, lovely. But thankfully, because a lot of Airbnbs have come up,
Hmm.
it's at least the popular-ish
Hmm.
places, those are usually pet friendly.
Hmm.
So, I mean, though hotels now are slowly,
Right.
some of them are agreeing
So true.
to
Yeah.
have pets. So when I had a dog, and I had a good big German Shepherd, okay, so it's like
Hmm.
solid bada sa
Wow.
dog, and
Wow.
we did multiple trips
Hmm.
with our dog, and I'm talking of like 15 years back or something. It was so difficult finding
Very
accommodation,
true. Very
so
true.
difficult finding accommodation. And
Right.
those days we couldn't really plan as much. I mean, we
Hmm.
did road trips, but we couldn't really, you don't have a make my trip or a go Avibo, right? So
Hmm.
you'll have to like call them and ask, hello, we are here. Can we
So
get a
true.
dog?
Yeah.
Things have gotten slightly easier, but not that much as such. But still, oh wow, camping in Peshawar must have been fun.
Totally. Totally.
So from being a very spontaneous traveling style person when you're going solo to a nice planned itinerary person when you're going with Pixar. Cute.
How many places have you traveled with Pixar? Have you
With
traveled a lot?
Pixar, we mostly do local, like Mahabs. From here, something a little short. That's what we look to, because he gets tired when we take him for a long hours, and
Mm.
then we'll have to plan a 2-3 day trip then. So when we do like either overnight, or it's mostly like around Chennai only we plan.
Mm.
So yeah, it's either been Pondi or this Pichavaram or this Mahabs. That's how it's been till now. But we want to start taking him to other places now, like around Bangalore probably. Yeah, something colder and nice. Like, yeah.
Will
We
be
have been
nice.
thinking
I
of.
have a friend here actually who does a lot of vacationing with, he's got a lab, and he
Wow.
takes his
Okay.
lab
Uh-huh.
a lot. Like they've driven from
Wow.
Bangalore to Goa, they have driven to all the entire
Wow.
coastal Gokarna,
Uh-huh.
Karwar, Mangalore,
Uh-huh.
the entire, because his dog is a very water baby kind of dog.
Wow.
He'll
Wow.
see water and he has videos, he'll run and jump into the water, like the ones that we see on Instagram. No, they'll
Right.
just like
Right.
open the
Yeah.
leash and they'll just sprint
Wow.
into the water.
Wow.
I mean, at some point, if you want connections around Bangalore, I can definitely connect
Definitely.
you guys.
Wow. That would be amazing. Yeah.
100%, 100%.
Thank you
Yo,
for it. I would
hey,
definitely
anytime.
like, yeah.
All right.
From all your, like, I have two questions. Okay, from all the trips you had with Pixar so far, like, if he had to choose one as his favorite, which one do you think he'll choose?
I think the beach, he doesn't know the difference between, like, again, the beach of different places. So for him, even when I take him here, like to the Besanagar beach or the beaches around, for him, it's a holiday. So that is like one thing. Initially, even how many ever times he goes, initially when he listens to the wave sound, and when he sees the water, like, coming towards, he's very scared. And then,
Oh,
like, once he gets into the water, like, he gets very comfortable and he wants to play and all of that. Like, yeah. So
even
that way,
now, is
like,
it? It still takes him like a few minutes to get.
yeah, definitely it does. I think the sound, like, he's a little startled with the sound, and then he takes his own time. And then once he's into it, he wants to play. Yeah.
That's like my mom. She always asks me, "Why do you go to Goa and then another beach somewhere else and then another beach? Beach is a beach is a beach." No, mommy,
So
beach
true.
is not a
So
beach. Is
true.
not a beach. I like to go to all different beaches.
Very true.
So
So
Pixar is
true.
like that.
Yeah. So even when my husband and myself, when we plan for a holiday, I don't know, somehow both of us end up, doing something a very beach place. So people are like, you live in Chennai and you have beaches around. Why do you want to do? No, it's not that. Like,
It's not the same, not the same.
exactly.
Yeah, I love going
Yeah.
heading beaches. Oh, good. So Pixar also is a beach baby now. My goodness.
Yeah,
What a
totally.
lovely family.
His
Okay.
name is Pixar. Like, do you guys watch movies together?
Yes,
Especially
yes,
Pixar
yes, a
movies
lot.
together?
A lot, a lot. And my husband is into movies. So that way, like, we thought something common that we liked was Pixar, and that's how it so instantly like came to us. So yeah.
Does Pixar have any favorite movies?
He I don't know if it's movies, but there are certain sounds that he, like, he connects with and he watches. So for example, the other day I was watching this snow leopard documentary on Nat Geo, and he was in a deep sleep. Suddenly he woke up, some visual attracted him, and he was like glued into it for about 5 to 7 minutes, which is a
Oh,
long span for them.
true,
Yeah.
true.
So he was watching that, probably those sounds, and that was one thing that I've seen him watch. Otherwise, he's not into. Yeah, because even over here from the balcony, sometimes he'll just keep randomly gazing at the tree, and then he responds to certain bird sounds. He just likes to watch them, and he loves watching the crows here, and like, yeah, that's his like. I love watching him watch that. So
Correct, I know. It's very nice.
yeah.
Wow. Awesome. We've got a lot of cute dog stories, man. All right. Now let's start yapping about the gorgeous island destination vacation that you've chosen to tell us stories about. So among all the
Yes.
places, so you've done a lot of vacationing
Mhm.
and several of it being in a solo
Mhm.
fashion, you've chosen the one that you went to Philippines.
Yeah.
And this is something that you've done not in the last 2, 3 years. It was before that when you mentioned Puerto
Puerto
Princesa, right?
Princesa.
I had heard it for the first time from you.
Uh-huh.
Though I have heard of Philippines and Manila and
Right.
I think Boracay is in Philippines
Yeah,
only,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So these are the
Boracay.
very popular ones, whereas Puerto
Mhm.
Princesa is not one of those
Mhm.
uh, first things that will come when you want to, head to Philippines. So how
Mhm.
did you go about it? What excited you to do a solo over there when
Mhm.
already we don't know much about the place? And even now, if I would look at blogs and blogs on that, you don't get that much info about this place and all that. How did you
Mhm.
go about it? How did you choose this place, man?
So, I definitely wanted to do a holiday, and I thought I'll gift myself a holiday. So every month, like from my earning, I used to save a certain money just for, like, and one whole year of saving I had, and I thought I should definitely gift
Wow.
myself a holiday. That's how it all began. And then I have this really close family friends who live in Philippines.
Mm.
So it came as a random thought, like why not just go to Philippines and some island holiday there, which was Boracay again. So
Mm.
I'd heard a lot about Boracay, and I thought, okay, let me do a Boracay holiday. And I was checking, and I thought, okay, let me go and plan there, because again, when you talk to the locals, probably you get more inputs. That is what
True.
was in my head. So I had taken a good like 15-day break, 15, 18 days break. And I thought, okay, I still have the time to go to Manila, spend about a couple of days and then plan it and then go. So when I went there, I did spend time with my, like, the family friends there. And then I kind of had an idea that Boracay is something which is getting very touristy. And I
True.
didn't want to do something like, that is very crowded again. So I was kind of, you just step out, you just like, people are very socializing there. They just want to please others. Like, it's,
Oh,
yeah, it's too good to be true. Sometimes you feel, okay, is this real? I mean, is this for real? That's how we start feeling.
how lovely.
Yeah, yeah. And then, but
Hmm.
they're genuinely like that. Predominantly, I think 97% of the crowd is like that. So it's like
My God, that's like
they
full. You
just,
can say 100% might as
yeah,
well.
so true, so true.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how, like, I was kind of getting in. I mean, I was just having a chat with them, and I used to just randomly talk to people and over there. So that's when I kind of heard about this island called Palawan.
Hmm.
I thought, okay, let me just do a basic research about Palawan. And I figured out, like, that is something that is definitely doable, and it was accessible from Manila as well. And I just looked for a good stay there, and I found this place very interesting. And when I spoke to them, I found them like very good. So I thought, okay,
Okay.
why not, just plan this? And it was so, it was so impromptu, and it was just so impulsive. and I just went ahead with that. So that's how it started.
So you have just planned that, oh, I'm having 18 days of vacation and Philippines is the place. Wahan jaake dekhte hain, which place am I going to figure?
Boracay
Oh
was, yeah, Boracay. When I went, like when I left from home, I thought it was Boracay. But when I went there, like, things kind of, I was like, no, no, okay, like something else. And,
yeah,
but I
if I'm
kind
not
of knew.
mistaken, Boracay was closed for a year or something in between because
Mhm.
the number of tourists had become that many.
Oh,
And
okay.
if I'm not mistaken, it's sometime around when you went. But I think it was closed for a year because they
Okay.
wanted to clean up the place and all the
Oh, okay.
biodiversity things and the damage that was done because of excessive
Oh
tourism.
my God. Okay.
Yeah. So
I
wow,
didn't
good
know about
decision.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going for like a trip where you want to like rejuvenate and all, and you go to and
Exactly.
see 100,000 people
Yeah.
there. Ooh. So you started off with Manila then.
Yeah,
So how was
exactly.
Manila so it's the capital, right? So is
Right.
it as crowded and as
Manila, like I think it gives you a very similar feel like a Bombay.
oh
Yeah, like because all skyscrapers and then
hmm.
a lot of people, all kind of people live, and they're all very happy. You find happy faces, like they're just enjoying, and each of them have about like 8, 9 kids, and it's such a normal thing for them. Yeah, it's a
Eight,
very
nine
normal.
kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay, a
when
lot
you
of
see people,
people.
like, yeah, when you see people, you wouldn't even assume they're like so fit and fine. And when you see they're
Wow.
actually like, they have this big bump ahead and it's like, yeah.
Wow. My
And from the
God.
back, you wouldn't even know. Like,
You,
and for them, it's such a normal thing. And
oh my God,
I
how
did a bit of
interesting.
local eating there. And then, like,
Hmm.
and one crazy thing is, I always have these willpower challenges that I do to myself.
Okay.
It's something that I feel good about. So I thought in that whole trip, I'll turn veg. So there was no like, specific reason, but I thought, okay, let me keep it a little organic and let me take it more like a thing for my body as well. So I thought I'll just turn veg completely.
So it's like
So,
a mental stimulation thing for you that you want
right,
to challenge yourself. Oh my God.
right.
And that you go
Yeah,
to Philippines where
yeah,
you would have had a really nice
exactly.
time with the seafood.
So true, so true. Yeah.
And nothing tempted you in the 18 days?
Not
You were
really. Like
solid,
I was
man.
more, I think the people over there, thanks to the people over there, they went this extra mile to cook amazing food for me, So it's like, yeah, it was amazing. I think it just so happened. I don't know. That trip was like all, I feel blessed. It just happened to me. That's how I would say. Like, it was not
Like
something that
perfect and perfection.
yeah, exactly.
Tell us more about
So
Manila. I
true.
mean, I've not been to Philippines, but I have
Hmm.
heard a lot of Manila. I have a couple of friends
Hmm.
who are actually staying there right now. So
Hmm.
we do get a lot of pictures of the place and all of it.
Right.
A lot of water
Hmm.
sports in Manila.
Oh,
I've seen
yeah.
a lot of water sports happening around
Right.
there. So tell us something about Manila before we head to your
Oh,
gorgeous
yeah.
island.
Yeah, sure. So I think Manila, again, like I told you, it's a shopper's paradise. And you'll be very surprised the kind of the clothing is like super reasonable. Like people talk about Thailand and all
Ooh.
these places, but Manila is something that people haven't discovered. Like that's how I would state it. Like, yeah,
Wow. I was going to
the
ask you, when you
shopper's
say
paradise. Yeah.
shopper paradise, do you mean like branded stuff or do you mean
Yeah, the branded stuff
everything?
as well. And also like, the regular stuff, they're more Western influenced
Hmm,
again,
that's
right?
true.
So they have a great dressing sense and they look so intact. Like, for example, when like, when you exit from the airport,
Hmm.
there was this lady at the toll, and then like she had this nice smile, and they're like, so I was like, oh, maybe this is the start of her day and start of her work, and that's how she's like this. Would you believe that 12, 13 hours later, I happen to go the same on the same road, and I see her, it's almost like the end of her shift, and she's still so fresh, and she has all the energy like how she started off in the day. That's how they
How?
are. I'm not kidding, that's how they are. Yeah, see, again, like my experience here has been people are nice at the start of the day, again, like they're so exhausted later after a point.
Anyone
But
would,
there,
right? And that too,
yeah,
it's just not like a temperature when it is 15 degrees the entire day. It's Manila's a
so
nice
true.
humid place, right?
Yeah, very much. You know
Hmm.
what? People are so fresh and active all day. I just wonder how, like, even a simple supermarket experience. All those guys who work there, they just want to help you. Like, they're so happy to help you. And they do this for all. It's not like, they're seeing someone different or someone foreign to them. And no, it's like they do with, I mean, they do this to everyone. And I see one thing, the people's mindset when it comes to work, they enjoy work. Like, for example, in the supermarket, I saw these guys, like, using these skateboards and enjoying inside, and they're like grooving, and they're just like having fun. They're just loving their work. So I
How
think that,
interesting.
yeah, like, anything and everyone, whatever they're into, they're just like happily doing.
Oh,
So,
wow. Such a
yeah,
pleasure for a tourist when you go there and you see everything's happy, everything's nice,
so
everyone's
true.
helpful, everyone's chatty, they want to help you out. They
So
want to
true.
make you
Yeah.
feel, better, enjoy your vacation. All of that is such a beautiful, experience overall. Lovely. And
Yeah.
overall, how is the place? Is it a, I mean, like how you said it's very much like Bombay. So is it a very busy place with lots of
Very
vehicles?
busy.
Or
Yeah.
you have open spaces and things?
Not like a lot of open spaces. It's all like, at least the places that I went in and around Manila, it's predominantly like Bombay, huge skyscrapers and
Hmm.
very busy place. Like, people are always on toes, and you'll just, when you look from top, it's like these ants, just going around and around and around. Yeah, that's how it is.
Because
Like,
a
yeah.
lot of history in terms of the Spaniards there,
Yeah, so
Japanese
true.
there, Americans
Right.
there,
Right.
Brits also, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
कौन सा country बाकी रह गया वैसे हो जाता है. And it's gone to
So true.
quite I mean, like even after the World War II, the
Hmm.
Japanese coming and bombing down the entire, the entire old walled city and all
Hmm.
of that. So it has a lot of these extremely rich in history parts of Manila, whereas other parts are like you're saying skyscrapers and all that is like a super modern part. So are these
Very
like
true.
very
Yeah.
segregated areas of Manila, or you would have it all like एक साथ
Uh,
में kinds?
yeah, not very, very segregated. It's a mix of all. Again, there are like certain areas which is ups, I mean, to the higher end and upscale too.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it's predominantly a mix of
Oh,
people, is what I see. Yeah. Again, I think if you go very internally, they have their own things and all of that. Just that, like, when you
I'm
go
sure
as
that's
a tourist, it's like
true,
these
true,
are the
true.
things that the overall experience is really good. That's how, like, I would put it. And the
Mm.
best part is they do the best haircuts. And trust
Huh?
me, they charge you 150 or 200 bucks even if they come home and do. That's like
Like
the best
151
thing.
INR equivalent, really?
Exactly. That's how much they charge. And they do the best haircut. They're
चलो.
like magicians, they're like magicians. So it's like
Vacation पे जाने के पहले people don't spruce yourself up. You go there and spruce yourself up.
very true, very true. You don't have to go to these super high-end salons and all that. You can just, like, like, you can just check. They have these small parlors, like how we had it in, like, 70s and 80s,
Correct,
like
correct,
that's how
correct.
it is. And they're like amazing. Their style, the style and the scissors they use and the way they do, it's like they're so quick. In 10 minutes, like, they just do a magic to your hair. That's how it is.
Oh man, that's such a beautiful tip, man. I'll definitely have to keep this in mind for myself.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. So how else did you spend your time in Manila?
uh, I took it slow there because I was looking forward to my holiday as
Yeah,
such.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Why
yeah.
not? Of course. The local language is called Tagalog there, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When you said tagging along, I thought of it. It's called
It's actually
Tagalog.
it's pronounced like Tagalog.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice, very cute.
Tagalog. Yeah.
Yeah. So then while walking around and exploring the places when you discover that, okay, let me head to this place called
Palawan.
Palawan. What kind of a conversation did you have that you discovered Palawan? And then how did you plan beyond Manila?
Okay, so it was more like I was just checking what islands. There's so many islands. There's so
It's an
many islands.
archipelago of islands,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah. Mm.
So, so I was just checking, like, what is nice to visit. I was just checking from these people that I got convinced that, okay, they know something. So it was more like that. So yeah, and I was checking with my family friends too, that the places they have visited, and this was something new to them too. But then since, we could trust the source, we thought, okay, why not try this? And I really like the people there. I thought, like, why not? Like, I found it safe, and I found, like, I could feel that, okay, like,
I
I'm
can
definitely not
trust
gonna,
their
yeah,
suggestions.
yeah,
Nice.
exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
So that's how it started. Like, and when I saw basic pics of that place, no, I got sold. I'm like, okay,
Mind
this is the
blown.
place. Exactly. And I think I just got fixed that, okay, whatever it is, this is the place I'm going to.
Beautiful, lovely. Oh my God, oh my God. I mean, you're the first person I've spoken to who has gone like this without itinerary kind of, let me just go and each step I'll
Right.
figure out the next step kind of a thing. So I'm loving this whole idea of how you did that. Fantastic. Okay, so then you have to leave for Palawan tomorrow. How do you plan? Not knowing
So
where you're going and all of it.
exactly. So I just like had my basic clothing and all like sorted anyway, like I'd taken to Manila. So
Mm.
and I thought, okay, it's going to be a 1 week thing, and I had booked my tickets and all of that, and the stay was sorted, and I was like really excited, more than, and I just kept myself like, it was more like a very calming experience for me as well. And the best part was when I went and landed, right? The runway is like literally on the shore, surrounded by water. And I'm like,
Whoa.
oh my God. And from Manila to Palawan, and I traveled in the day. Basically, it took about
Mm.
like 3 hours, like, yeah,
Oh,
around
three
3 hours if
hours.
I, yeah, like
Oh,
around three
it's
hours,
not that
like,
close. Okay.
yeah. So when you look down, it's like when you look in the atlas, right? Like how you see water and then
Yes,
these
yes, yes, yes.
like little,
Dot,
little,
dot,
little
dot, dot here
spots
and
of,
there.
yeah, land, right? That's how exactly it looked. And it was like too good to be true. The blue sea with the white sand all over, it's like, and it's all sea, 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 sea. And then you
I'm going
just,
to cry, man.
so I just landed into one runway which just had water all over. Like one slight slip, you would just be like, in
सीधा
the
scuba
water.
diving हो जाएगा. सीधा scuba diving.
Exactly.
That's see that's
Exactly.
positive spins. Nothing will
Yeah.
happen. You'll just be underwater. It's okay.
Exactly. It'll turn into a submarine then.
Submarine, that's all.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, so we have to take a window seat when we take a flight from Manila
Oh,
to
yeah, yeah,
Palawan. We
yeah.
have to do that. Yes.
Definitely, definitely,
Oh my
yes.
God,
Like,
three
yeah.
hours of looking like this. So,
Yeah.
I'm like one water baby. So it's like, oh,
Yeah, even I never get bored of seeing water or
yeah,
just like, like
never,
it's a
never.
very, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Whatever the water, whether it's a lake or a river, all of them
right,
excite me equally.
right.
Waterfall, though, I go nuts. I just lose it. Beautiful. So so now you're heading into, oh, you land this amazing, beautiful airport.
Yeah. And then, you just get off there on the runway. I'm like so carried away with the place and all of
Yeah.
that. And the sky is like so blue and the air is, I mean, you can feel that fresh air and the sky is so clear and it feels so good. It was sunny, but then I wouldn't say it was humid. I didn't find it
Hmm.
as humid as Manila as well. It was like
Oh,
pretty subtle that way.
which month of
So
the year did you do
this was
this trip?
in June.
Oh, so that is like proper, summer vacation, whatever,
Right,
summertime
right.
for the country. So, and then you said that
Yeah.
it was still very like good.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah. Not like,
lovely.
I wouldn't say it was very pleasant, but it wasn't hot as well. It was like, it's fine. It was
Oh, it's
manageable.
warm, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Exactly.
go
Like,
to a
yeah.
beach vacation, that's how it's fine. It's
Right.
fine. Yeah.
Exactly. Because it doesn't matter to you. You're just
Doesn't
carried
matter.
away with, yeah,
Yeah.
the other things. And it's so funny that, you just walk on that runway and you just reach one small, like, a two-story structure. And
Hmm.
that's the airport. You just enter there and you just exit right over there. It's like one mini complex.
I like this cute little airports.
So
They have got
true,
some
so
character
true.
kinds.
Yeah, exactly, right. And it was all the localites that I saw there, mostly whoever, like, were flying to Palawan as well. It was so cute. I kept looking at the airport. I was standing there and I was just looking around and I'm like, okay, is this what it is? And do they have any other terminal or is it just
Terminal.
like, yeah.
Oh my God. Did they
Yeah.
have a luggage conveyor belt or no? They just came and
No,
kept
no,
things.
they
Nothing.
just like, you can just take yours and go. Like there's no one to handle all that. Like it's
Oh
it's
my
too a
God.
luxury, like, to have. Yeah, I think back then, I'm sure in 50s and 40s airports would have been like that, right? Like
But I would assume that something like a Palawan it attracts a lot of tourists, right?
right. I'm
But it's
not
good.
sure how it is now, but then
Now,
like, yeah,
yeah.
back then that's how it was.
I like cute airports, man. They have a character.
So true. And it's so charming. It's so nice. So true. They have a character.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
then you pick up, you take your own bag and you walk out of the airport.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, there is this nice one XUV waiting out. Like, they have their own nice, cute shaped XUVs.
Mm.
And there are two guys who are so excited, like they know me for ages, or like, yeah. Like, wow,
Best friends,
okay,
long time no see.
exactly. Like, wow, okay.
Cute, very cute.
Yeah, if you're not very used to the Filipinos, it's very intimidating because it's like,
Super friendly.
yeah, exactly. They're like so excited to show me those places around and all of that. So from there, I'll have to hit to another island.
Okay.
So that is Puerto Princesa. So
Hmm.
Palawan has a lot of islands like inside it itself. Like there's so many hundreds. Like if I'm not wrong. So there's El Nido. El Nido was again a very beautiful destination. Yeah,
El Nido is a
Puerto.
very Mexican sounding name, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
probably the
Yeah,
Spanish Mexican those time ka kuch
could
to
be. Could be
should be
some.
something
They
from
have a
there.
lot of Spanish influence,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Even in music, the music that they listen to, they have a lot of Spanish influence.
Oh, see, my
So yeah,
God.
yeah,
And it was a real struggle for them to get out of the whole Spanish thing, but still it's like
right.
been with them more than 100 years. Not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Generations. That's all. So Palawan is kind of like a district with a lot of islands.
yeah,
Kind, something like
exactly.
that.
That's, yeah,
Oh,
exactly. More
oh,
like a
okay.
district. And then,
Hmm.
like, it has a lot of islands, like, you'll have to travel a bit. So, if I'm not wrong, I think from there it was about a 45 minutes travel on road to reach Puerto.
Okay.
So, I think it was more than 45 minutes, about 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, like that. So, when you're
How
going
was the
on the way,
journey? Like what kind of how's the countryside kinds?
it's very nice. It looks very similar to Kerala, like, if I have to
Oh,
put it, yeah. Like they have these very countryside Kerala. That's how it looks. A lot of coconut trees, a very like, the tropical thing, and then like, such huge coconuts, like
oh,
unbelievably huge coconuts. Yeah. And then I had one little pit stop there. There was this little cute store with
hmm.
more like a cafe sorts, and then they had their handmade stuff, the crafts, and then
Oh,
the tender coconut. They were selling tender coconut, and from there was this very beautiful viewpoint.
okay.
Yeah, it's like you're on a hill,
Oh,
and only when I viewed from there, I could realize that we are on a hill, and then there's water down there, and surrounded by mountains.
and wave slashing.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
beautiful, how beautiful, my God. There
So
was once that
beautiful
I
it
had
was.
gone to this place. So you have this kind of a cute cafe setup. So we had like one chai, and then we said, we just want to use a washroom. They said, oh, you must use our washroom. Our washroom has the best view in the
Oh wow.
world. Wow, kya milne wala hai, okay. We were two girls. So we went to this, we said, okay, fine, and what going to come? We went there. We went inside, and then we realized that so you enter from the door of the washroom, you have only three walls. The piche ka thing opens into the valley.
Wow.
And the pot is like facing the valley. So it's like the most beautiful view you can
Right.
ever have. Oh, the restaurant guy or the cafe owner guy had some imagination. There was no way anyone could see you because it was properly the
Right.
sides were like proper walls. But then you feel so awkward, right? How can you? It's actually open.
Right.
We kept singing and we were laughing and things like that. But yeah, so did you get something exciting like that in in your cafe, little cute little cafe there?
Definitely not as exciting as yours, probably. Yeah.
I had to share this. Suddenly, I remember that particular place. Oh my God, it was
So
crazy.
interesting. I've never heard something like this.
This was actually a trip in
Yeah.
Jordan. So we were going
Uh-huh.
somewhere to somewhere, and on the way we had to stop. Very nice, very lovely cafe. And this
Uh-huh.
was what
I
the
was gonna ask you, where
beautiful.
was this? Like, yeah.
Okay, so beautiful place,
Yeah.
handmade stuff. Did you buy
And
something?
I wanted to try the tender coconut. And then, like, I tried, and the water never got over because over there, the tender coconuts have at least about 2 liters of water. Trust me, it
My
never got
God.
over. And I'm like drinking, and it's like not over. I'm
No,
like,
it's
okay.
massive.
Yeah, yeah. I
Correct,
was
correct,
just so
correct.
excited and I just picked it, and then it was too good. It was tasting different.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
it was
interesting.
tasting
Very,
good.
very interesting.
Next time
Okay.
we'll
Yeah.
carry a bottle and fill it with the coconut water
I
and
think
keep
you'll
it.
have to carry a can itself.
Okay. चलो बहुत सारे
Yeah.
टिप्स शेयर कर रहे हैं हम लोग कैरी कैन लिसनर्स कैरी कैन
Yeah. After that, I started looking at the trees. I wonder how they carried such heavy
yeah
tender coconuts, right? Like, and I
yeah
was just
true
seeing them so straight, erect. The smallest, if you pick, also has about 1 liter of water.
And here we get such cute
Yeah,
small ones and all that.
exactly.
Beautiful.
I don't
And
think it's bad though. Like even kutti coconuts
yeah,
are
it's
fine.
all
Like imagine
tasty.
the
I
number
love.
of times you have to find public washrooms after having coconut. Like no.
Oh, but what if you always get world's best view washroom? Then
Exactly. Then it's worth it. Yeah.
oh man, too funny, too funny.
Yeah.
Found anything else or bought anything else at that store?
So I didn't pick the handicraft stuff there. Like, not that I was very impressed, but it was very cute that the villagers there around had made these like little keychains and all of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And one thing was they knew these are the tourists who are gonna buy, and definitely it was like super pricey. So I understood that,
Oh,
okay, like
smart.
yeah.
So en route, do you hear sounds of wave crashing, etc.? It was so
There,
beautiful.
you wouldn't feel that it's a very soft wave. Unless you
Oh.
really are next to it, like you wouldn't feel the wave sound. And certain
Ah.
places, it's absolutely no waves. It's just like still. It just feels like it's kissing your feet.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it just
love
comes
how you put
slowly.
that.
Yeah.
Very cute. It's a beautiful picture.
Yeah. And then so from there I directly went to this place called Sheridan. That's my stay. And you have people like so happy again, one group of people dancing for you and
You get a
welcoming you. Like,
welcome dance.
yeah. And it was very
So
new for me
cute.
because I didn't expect that at all from I went with no expectation, right? Like when I had all those, I'm like, wow, okay. And then, yeah.
Beautiful. It's always nice.
Yeah.
It's a cute experience. You
Exactly,
feel
right.
conscious, but it's nice.
Yeah. So true. I was a little conscious, but then like I kind of enjoyed it. And
You join
yeah,
them.
I did. Yeah.
I like it.
And they had one
Lovely.
like 4 5 welcome drinks, and it was like, yeah.
This is a fancy kind of a place.
uh if you actually like look for the pricing and all that, it's not priced that expensive, but yes, for the price that you pay, it's like super fancy.
Oh,
Probably here,
wow.
like in India, you would end up paying at least 20 grand a night for such a place, like,
Oh,
yeah.
so is it that the place is an overall budget friendly kind of
Definitely.
location
See,
as well?
there I ended up paying only about 6 grand a night, like, or
Yeah,
five something a night. Yeah, that's how it
which
was.
is
But
equal to a 20K a night. My God,
yeah,
lovely.
20 minimum, I would say. Like, it was
Interesting.
very nice. Like, yeah.
Lovely.
So,
Okay.
so I went, and then like, I had this cute little room. It was damn beautiful. And I was just enjoying the whole feel of it. And just right in front of me was the pool. It was a massive pool. I just can't explain that. And then
God.
they had this cute mini bar thing, like, right there, and more like a mini cafe sorts, like more than a bar. And then like you swim under it as well. Like, it's like,
Oh, like a pool bar,
yeah.
pool cafe kind. So
Yeah,
lovely.
exactly.
My,
Yeah.
I love such places.
Yeah. And then it's more like a thing where it just joins the sea after that. Like, it's like,
Perfect.
yeah.
So it's like
And
one of those beach resorts.
beach resorts,
Beach
exactly. Like,
resorts. Hmm.
you just step out of your room and you just, look out, and then there's like, wow.
Yeah, like in those Bollywood
Just
movies, they'll say na, कमरा के सामने swimming
right.
pool के सामने beach के सामने सिर्फ पानी ही पानी.
Exactly.
Cute.
And I couldn't just resist. I just had to run to the beach. Like, I just felt like going and experiencing the beach. It's such a fine sand. It's so soft and it's so white that, it's like, it just feels so beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. Like the feel of it is very different. Like,
So
it's very
entire thing
different.
is white sand beach over there.
Yeah. It's totally.
Beautiful.
And such a fine sand. I've never experienced such a fine sand ever. Like, yeah, that was something that was very
Yeah, it
exciting
feels
for
so
me. Like,
nice, like when you just walk and walk and walk and
yeah.
walk. Ah.
And it was
Okay, okay.
also the first time for me to experience such a soft wave as well. Like, so it was very exciting.
And it's
And that
decently
chill.
shallow as well.
Yeah, it is.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice. Do they have snorkeling and all of that
Oh,
around that place?
yeah. They do. They have good activities around, definitely.
Oh,
Like,
lovely.
yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Mhm.
Okay, so you reach and throw your bag and run into the
Right. I just
run
like
to the
went and
beach.
spent some time there.
Oh,
And it was
beautiful.
already like, lunchtime, and I had people coming and reminding me, ma'am, it's time for lunch, like, and all of that. And then, like, yeah, I go. And it was so amazing by the chef. He had made this, he put an effort and had already told them my preference. It's like veg and anything veg, I'm ready to explore sorts. He realized like I'm an Indian and he made an amazing, I don't know, some amazing gravy and some, veg rice, the Mexican rice with
Oh,
some
wow.
like veggie sauce. And it was mind blowing. I just can't tell you how mind blowing the lunch was. Like,
My
yeah.
God, when you go with like zero expectations and then you get 100, you'll be like flying somewhere
Exactly.
else.
They just want to please you. They just want to do anything to please you. So that's how it was. And I had an amazing lunch and I thought like I could do justice to this lunch only by taking a good nap. So I just went and like, yeah, right,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, wow, wow. Beautiful. You could manage with vegetarian food all through your stay there, is it?
Yeah, yeah, totally. And it was very motivating for me because such kind of food, no, such delicious food never made me miss any seafood. Though I'm a seafood lover, like I can't resist seafood, but then somehow this was something probably like,
Unbelievable, man.
yeah,
You're going to a place like here and you're very
right.
determined. You're very determined. You are. Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do in the evenings over?
It was very interesting for me because they have this nice music playing and then like again evenings are like very cool and nice, so you have
Oh,
this.
yeah.
And I used to enjoy being in the hammocks there, like they have these hammocks tied between the trees there and it's like
Picture perfect.
so true, so true, yeah.
Did you go
And
click, click,
then
click, 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 click?
oh no, so one thing I decided was I'm not going to use the phone, I'm never going to
Huh?
take calls and all of that. So I really had my phone only to take pictures, but only five in a day. So I could choose the best of five in a day. And I thought only with those I'm gonna like
What
whatever
kind of
it
a
is.
determined girl are you, man? My goodness, you're in such a gorgeous place and you could resist all this. Oh my
I thought I
God.
shouldn't get carried away and lose my time into taking pictures
That's
and
true.
rather
That's
like,
true.
just live in there and experience like so.
Wow. 5 pictures a day.
Right,
Please
yeah.
share all the 5 into 7, 35 pictures with us, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my, beautiful,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Otherwise,
And
like,
no calls. How are your parents okay with you
so
not?
I told my parents there's absolutely no network there, and I mean I really had to do that. Otherwise, like obviously they wouldn't be fine. Like me going to an island, like and then like yeah, not
Akele.
being in touch. Like yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Did they know that later on that you were bluffing?
they got to know. Of course, they
They
got
got
to
to
know.
know.
I
Okay,
mean,
so they
I
can
told
still
them
listen
like
to our podcast, right?
yeah, yeah, of course. I told them like and they were like, oh my god. And after that, every trip, they were like
They can't
getting
believe
very
you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were like, okay, this
That's
girl is up to
something.
something now. Yeah.
That's something many of us do. So when I did my skydiving, I didn't tell my folks before itself. But after I sent pictures, so they got what such things are you guys crazy? Have you lost it? And of course, when we were scuba, we didn't tell. But then we sent pictures.
Right.
Crazy. Have you lost it? So now they've kind of given up. Now they're like, anyway, this girl will do whatever she wants to do, but at least she
Yeah.
let us know that she's done it. So it's fine.
Exactly. I
But
think
let
it's a
it
very
just go.
similar scenes at my place too now. So yeah.
Nice, nice. So in evenings in this place, because you don't have anything else to do, right? There are no markets or there's nothing to explore. So it's just about
Yeah.
chilling, enjoy the sunset.
Yeah. And I don't think they have enough exposure to Indians in that
Mm.
island. So not many Indians have been there. So they have very high regards for Indians. At least then, like they had very high
Oh,
regards for Indians.
nice.
Yeah. So they feel, oh wow, like your history is so rich. You come from such a rich cultural background and
Which
all
we
of that.
do.
Like, yeah, exactly, which we do.
How
So true.
nice.
Yeah. And they're like super impressed and they're like, okay, wow, Indians, and they take
And
that
that to a
extra.
girl who's coming solo traveling also would have been a big
Yeah,
deal for them, right?
exactly.
How
I think they
lovely.
do. I'm not sure if many do solo there, but then like at least
Yeah.
when I went, it was like I was the one there. And a lot of New Zealanders and Australians holiday there. That's how it
Oh,
is. Like, yeah.
so
Distance wise, it's
distance
like,
wise.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
exactly. And then it's an
Oh,
easy getaway for them. So, yeah.
and they love the weather. They just love this weather. My God,
So
when we
true.
did Thailand and all that, we see the number of them and they'll be all talking about, oh, weather, oh, weather, oh, weather, oh,
Right,
and they'll
right.
always be, sunbathing because they need the tan.
Correct.
So they just adore this kind of weather. Oh,
Right.
lovely. So did you get to make friends?
Yeah, there was this very cute couple. They were dancing, they were grooving, and it was so nice. I was just, there watching, and they were like, "Do you want to learn this?" And that was very interesting. That was very nice of them to offer. So they
Yeah.
taught me these nice. I don't know what style of dance that is, but then it is something very local, like their local thing, and
Their locals, but they
like
were New Zealanders? I
yeah, New
mean,
Zealanders.
okay. Mm.
So I'm not
Oh,
sure, what style of dance that was. It's not something a very general thing. It must be
not
something.
salsa.
Yeah, exactly. Not salsa or not something that is very common, like again.
True, true. Mm.
So it was very nice learning that and, just being over there. And
What
it is,
fun.
yeah, exactly. And you don't even know them, right? It's so nice, just to, you don't even interact so much. It's just like the basic thing, just enjoying the place and just being there and learning new stuff. It's very nice, no? Like, yeah.
Yes, I absolutely enjoy vacations for this. One big reason that you get to talk to people from different countries. In all my travels so far, there has been just once that I have met a person who works in a company जिसका नाम मुझे पता है. Hamisha there'll be some very funky kind of profession. Oh, I am a firefighter. Oh, I am a scuba diver. There was once that we were vacationing and we actually found someone from Canada. This person actually is a mountain forest firefighter. And he was telling us such amazing stories about how things happen in Canada and all of that. So you get to hear and meet such varied kind of people, hear their crazy, amazing stories. I have somehow never found anyone who works in a regular corporate.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
So it's very unique how, I mean, if you're traveling in India, invariably it'll be one of these corporates, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You invariably will listen to some crazy, funky kind of backgrounds that they have. So
Right.
it's great fun. I just love getting into such conversations. And I will find places to go and talk to someone or the other to, get these kind of tidbits and
Right.
all of that about
Yeah.
them. It's great fun.
So true, so
Lovely.
true. So another thing I decided was like I thought of doing early mornings there and then like go to bed early kind. So instead of staying up, and it's a very peaceful place as well. Like, things are very slow there. Not just because it's a holiday, it's more like even the villages around. There are these little kuti villages, like, next to it. And you can really see them, like, they're probably 30, 40 years, behind. And
Oh. Exploring all that would have been a lovely thing, no? And you had a nice leisurely pace of exploring too, because you were there for 7 days.
yeah,
Oh, you were
7 days.
there in 7 days, all seven in Puerto Princesa?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. My God. Tell us.
Yeah, so that's how the first day went,
Yeah,
and then like
beautiful.
I kind of hit the sack early, and I was very excited for the next morning. I had a nice deep sleep. The air, the food, it matters a lot, right?
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
joy that you were experiencing, man.
so true, so true. I'm very excited just to get up and go, like, get started. And then I thought I'll not load myself with activities, so I'd spread it across through the days,
Perfect.
like, yeah. So I think the second day was this ATV that I went for, the ATV track. And that was the best ATV I've ever done. It's not something very random, and it had one nice jungle track. So it's all mountainous there, It's like
Okay.
they took
You
me to
drive
one
the
of the
ATV yourself?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, dig, like how you go Royal Enfield, like
Yeah,
that kind of feels you get, no?
exactly.
They can
Yeah.
control. Oh,
There was
terrain
this
was.
guy who would either tail you or he would just lead you. So that's how
Hmm.
it used to be.
Hmm.
Yeah, they just, took me there like it was one jungle kind. And then, like, from there, they just have this track which just goes. After a point, your hands start aching because you're not used to holding it for that long. No, it's like so
True. And it's
rough
a
and
big vehicle, right? So you have to
yeah, it
like
is.
balance the whole thing, right?
Right. And that too
Oh.
on a rocky terrain, and it was slushy too. It was not like
Oh.
it was wet. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
must have been
it's
a
like
challenge, man, like a proper
quite a
adventure kinds.
yeah, and it was too good. And most of the time it'll go like this, and like on one wheel or on two wheels like this. And then I
Mm.
would be like, okay, I hope this wouldn't topple. And then with a lot of thing, like I would just bring it back.
Do
And
they
after a
train
point,
you how to like maneuver this
so
vehicle?
initially, like you'll just have about 10 minutes of a thing just to get a hang of it on a
Okay.
plain track. And from there, you yourself take it to the jungle. So from
Okay.
there to the jungle, I think is about 2.5 kilometers. So
Hmm.
that ride gets you a little confident, but then
Okay.
that's a
But you
normal
will not
go.
be on two wheels, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long is this entire? ATV trail kinds?
1 hour, like,
Oh,
1 hour is
solid.
like, yeah. After a point, I could find some discomfort.
Mm.
And I was trying to tell that guy, and he was like, no, no, this is absolutely fine. And then it got stuck at one point, and then I was like, still trying to pull it through and all of that. And then there was this guy who was tailing me who realized, okay, there's something really off with it. He realized the sprocket was off, like that was out. So basically, that was like, yeah.
Oh, so could they at least repair it then and there for
They
you?
gave me another one, like, he took over that, and
He took over
like,
this
yeah,
and you
yeah.
went to his
And
vehicle.
after that,
Okay.
it was like very smooth and better, like, because
Oh,
I
so it was a
was like,
faulty vehicle kinds.
yeah, exactly. So it was very hard, like how much ever I could throttle or whatever, like it
Oh.
wasn't. Yeah. So this one
Oh,
was
what an
such a
experience,
breeze.
man.
Yeah.
And what kind of forest? Is it like really like lush, proper forest?
It is mountainous. It is a proper forest again, because see, there's no much of other habitats and all of that, right? Yeah. One thing is, I think there'll be a lot of pythons there, so that's one thing you should look out for. Yeah. So
You were like
that's
casually sliding in the python, man. What?
so since it's nocturnal and they would be on trees, that was one thing I was like, okay, no, like let me not look up, and that's how it was. Like, yeah.
Who told you they're nocturnal? I did not know they're nocturnal.
That's what the people over there
Oh,
told me, or I
do
don't
they
know if
tell
they
you in
kind of sold
advance?
that to me. Like, yeah.
Just like how beach baby I am, I'm a non-snake person as well.
Me too. But then, like, that trip, I was so carried away with other things that this didn't matter to me. That's how it was.
Oh,
Like,
okay. I have to
yeah.
think of that consciously. It's like if I'm going, don't look up and don't
Yeah,
spot.
exactly.
They be like hanging off a branch and all that.
No, they're just like coiled up, and
Coiled up.
it's mostly like camouflaged. You would never like notice until like you're really looking deep, and then you can spot them. That's how it will be.
I mean, it's a lot of
Yeah.
pythons. What is like lot? Like 5 or 55?
So at least I'm not sure about the forest because I didn't really look up. But when in the mangrove, I could really spot at least 2 or 3 on every tree. Again, there were all these. The mangrove is like very thick, right? So I think first few trees you might spot. I mean, you can spot the smaller ones, and the deeper you go, you will see the bigger ones too. Like, yeah.
I'm unable to react. I do not know whether I should say wow or eeks or what.
The small ones are not that probably not that scary, because at least initially it is, but then once you start moving in a little like further, and after a while you're like, okay, they're anyway sleeping, so it doesn't matter as long as you
But
don't
you're
touch
kind of
them.
able to
And
ignore them after a point.
not really, I was like curious to see if they're awake, and if there's any I was like just hoping I could see something that is awake as well.
You're very adventurous, I tell you. While when you said snake, my legs just came up, I have no idea why. I have something, I have crazy snake fear, crazy
Yeah.
snake fear. It's the biggest joke in my family that last janam I must have been like bitten, and so
Right.
all we have seen out of Bollywood movies like Nagin
Right.
has to come to
Oh,
take
yeah.
revenge because tumne kuch kiya
Right.
hai. So there's someone who's coming behind me. I'm very Bollywood like that. Oh my God. So you saw like a few pythons. I'm not even
Yeah.
regular snakes, like proper pythons.
Right.
In our ATV thing. Wow, my God. Does this place have waterfalls and all that as well?
It does. I wouldn't say it's like a huge waterfall. It's a small stream that just
Okay.
passes through the mountain and it joins the sea. Like, there's
Oh,
an
beautiful.
infinity pond kind of a thing that is formed.
Oh.
And yeah, one thing is like probably you'll just have to trek a bit, pass through or cross through some 2, 3 villages, and then you will reach this place. So that's how it is. Like,
How
I
beautiful.
think yeah, I will get to this waterfall part. Yeah, ATV. That was quite a tiring experience, because after an hour, I'm like, no, like, it's like too much of a heavy thing that you have handled,
True.
right? And then I could see that my hands were aching because it's so hard. Like, even though the handle was so hard to hold. So, but it was a very good experience. And then after that, I had a smooth ride to the place again, like to the stay. So it was
Oh,
good.
beautiful. Nice.
Yeah.
You explore the jungles. It's like it's almost a place where you probably can't walk because it's so slushy.
So it was, I think
lovely.
it was only that specific patch which was like that. Otherwise, it's pretty cool. It's more like you just walk by the sea, and then that's how it is. Yeah. Since it went we went inside the mountain, that probably that bit was like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Otherwise, I used to just take a nice stroll and I used to go as long as I wanted and I could just explore the sea around and all of this. This is how the day used to go by. And so there was this one person. It was organized by the resort or the stay that I was there. So she just like came over and she was like, "Do you want to just take a look around and do you want to go trekking sorts?" I was like, "Okay, wow, why not?" And then she accompanied me.
Oh,
And yeah, with the little, they make a lot of effort to learn English and do that little conversation.
very nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
highly
yeah,
appreciated.
so true.
Mm.
I was shocked. She's so fast. She's so fast. I wasn't able to catch up with her because it's like, too many stones and pebbles and, like it's a very rocky place and then you'll just have to trek. And those are those loose pebbles which just keeps rolling down.
Rolling, my God.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not those firm ones like, stuck to the
So
sand.
you
Again,
can't
it's
run
very,
up.
you
Rather,
can't.
we can't run up. They can.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not even like you're going up. It's more like it's mountains and you're walking across basically. You will have to just keep
Oh.
walking by it. That's how it was, or trek by it. She was so fast. I'm like, oh no, like, just slow down. My
And we'll
first
be
time
wearing
I'm
nice shoes and they'll be wearing
yeah.
chappals and walking in that pace.
So true. And so true, exactly. Like, that's how it was. And guess her age when I was talking to her. Ah, okay. I thought she must be around like 37, 38 is what she looked. She was 72. She
You
nowhere
guessed like
looked,
half.
yeah, exactly. She nowhere looked like, 70 or 72.
My
She's like
God.
so active, like, so she never looked anywhere close to it. And she was like, so guess how many children I have? And I was like, probably at least 4 to 5. She was like, I have nine of them. And I'm like,
Again, I have no idea how do I
okay,
react.
yeah.
Like, can I say wow or what? She's 70 plus and she's looking half her age with
Yeah,
9 children.
9 children. And nowhere when you
Oh,
look at her, you would just, think that okay, she would have never had kids. Like, that's how she looks.
so fit and so
Yeah,
perfect.
so fit and so energetic, and she's just, on toes.
Oh
Yeah,
man, how the hell?
yeah.
So, what was this trek? I mean, where did you guys head to?
So we went to this the water stream, like, we went to this
Hmm.
place, and then there was this very cute waterfall.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah. So right when I went there, there was this little pond. The water was so clear and so nice. And then like thought I should probably, just put my legs down and I just went and I just dunked in kind because
Oh, it
you
was
never
deep.
it was deep. You can never I mean you can never gauge the depth,
Correct,
right? Like
correct, true.
it looked very shallow, but then it was super deep. Like yeah. And it was like stones and pebbles all over inside again. So
Oh,
yeah, that was like an infinity pond where the other side joined the sea.
whoa. Perfect.
Yeah, it was a natural pond. That was the best part. Like it was so beautiful.
What's the source of water? Is there a waterfall
From the
there or what?
mountains, yeah, there's a waterfall.
Oh.
From the mountains, there's this little stream that comes, and it
Hmm.
was so nice. The water was tasting so good. So people drink that water basically. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, like,
How
very,
cool.
yeah, very tasty. I don't know to describe that taste, but then, like, yeah, it's very
My
nice
God.
basically. Like,
Your
yeah.
skin must have sung la 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 la. Like you have dunked yourself inside that
So true.
infinity pool. Little girl, ho gayi ho.
So true.
Yeah.
So it was a very meditative process for me, the whole waterfall sound and no human sound, absolutely, because it was only me and her again. And she was also this very calm and not a very touristy kind of explaining too much or talking too much. Just little, like, info she would give here and there. And she was kind of like just letting me be there. That's how it was.
Oh,
And
lovely.
yeah, from there she just disappeared for some time. She was like, you have your time. And I'm like, okay.
That's
Yeah,
so perfect, man. They
yeah,
kind of know
yeah.
how much to handhold and how much not to.
So true, so
Lovely.
true. And literally, I had a great time there.
Well, I'm looking
And
forward to see this picture. Did this make the 5 pictures a day cut?
yeah, I did.
Thankfully.
Oh my God. So do you have to carry a swimwear every time that you go, or how does it work?
Not really. Like, I just had my regular clothing, just that was water resistant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The quick drying
Like, yeah,
kinds
the quick drying,
ones.
exactly.
Oh,
So
And you have to wear like proper shoes when you go on such kind of hikes, so you can wear those regular flip-flops or something like that. Because you're
I
getting into
think,
the water, no? That's why.
yeah, a good floaters will help. Mostly like
Ah,
Crocs or floaters will still help
correct.
than shoes or like flip
Good
flops.
point. Good
Yeah,
point. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
So you had like a nice long time in that natural infinity
yeah,
pool. How
exactly.
cool
And
is
then it
that?
was a long walk again back. I was like,
Mm.
it's like I had no mind to get back, but then I was like, okay, no, I can't stay here for too long as well. We went back, and then, while walking, we had a good chat. She was also trying to talk and all of that. And then there was this group of people at one corner. They were like kind of approaching me, to talk. And she kind of held my hand and she was like, I think you shouldn't, converse with these. And she was just trying to take me away.
Oh.
And I was wondering, okay, what is it? And then I realized
Mm.
there were these Jehovah's Witness group, basically, who are like looking for conversion. So yeah,
Oh,
once you
yeah.
get stranded, you're there like for hours together. They don't let you go because there's no place to escape there as well, right?
True,
So they
true,
just
true.
hold you and they just like, kind of, yeah. So she was very
Oh.
smart. Yeah, she was like, okay, unless you're really interested, you can think skip this, and that's how we kind of. And they still kind of approached me and they were like, okay, what brings you here? And it's I've never seen Indians come here, and that's how like they all started. Again, it was like one multinational thing that was going around there, like a group.
No,
Yeah.
interesting that they even go to tourists. I would say
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
would
yeah,
only
yeah.
go to locals because they are also approaching tourists, which is very
Right,
interesting, which
right.
means kuch
Yeah.
to unka hit rate hua hoga. They must
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
been
Very
able to
true,
do it
very
with
true.
someone.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
nice,
I
nice. At
managed to
least.
get away. I was like, hey, I'm getting late for something. And then, I just had to.
So she kind
Yeah.
of told you what they are trying to approach you
Yeah. And,
for.
she was like,
Mm.
it was very cute. She was kind of whispering to me, you know what, the other Jehovah's Witness. I'm like, okay.
I would have asked,
Yeah.
what? And I'm generally
Yeah.
so chatty that I would have given some 5 answers also. I have to keep such things in mind. So you get to meet more locals also,
So
different
true.
kinds. How long was this entire trail, sort of?
The walk was about a good 2 hours walk.
Oh, this
Mm.
is a very large island, man.
I think it was about 6 kilometers plus because
Okay.
it's like, not a very straight path, no? Like you
Mm-hmm.
take your own time to reach there. That's how it is. Like,
Yeah. Plus
yeah.
up and down, up and down. Oh,
Yeah, up
lovely.
and down.
Beautiful,
Exactly.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Kind of through forested trail or by
This
the
was more like by the sea, but
sea.
then like, not on the shore kind. It was more like
Mm-hmm.
the hill, the rocks, and
Got
then
it.
like, you just walk and then the sea here. That's how it
Oh,
is.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. My God.
Yeah, yeah.
This was a second day.
Second day, yeah.
Mm.
It was good fun again. Like, the day kind of, I was like, okay, quite a good things I've done. And then
And
I
a
just
beautiful
had to,
swim also.
yeah, exactly. And then evening, every evening I made sure that, I'm in that hammock. I'm enjoying the beach. Like, I didn't want to miss that part, so I was there. Mornings and evenings, I would definitely go there and I would just spend some time there. I would just sit and just keep gazing and do nothing. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
not even
that was it.
reading. You're just like almost
Yeah,
Vipassana.
yeah, just like enjoying there, like reading.
Oh, wow. So you're very
Yeah,
comfortable in silence and being
I
with
think
your thoughts, kind of.
it is when it comes to water, especially. I don't know. I just
Ah,
get carried away with water.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's actually one place where I'm comfortable being alone.
Mhm.
By the water or by the beach or maybe a waterfall
Right.
also is probably one place where I'm comfortable being alone. Oh, I like this point, man. Oh, I was
So,
thinking that you would probably be reading sitting on the hammock or something.
oh no, no, I would just like, keep watching the sea. I would just love it.
Ah, ha, 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 ha,
For a minute, it just took me there. I'm like, okay, no, I'm here. And then I would
I'm
have
so
gone into
sorry for
silence
that.
now.
So usually, if you don't want to eat every meal in the same resort that you are staying in, because you don't have many things to do in the
Right,
evenings and
right,
all that,
right,
are there
right.
places that you can explore or something like a
There are
cafe, even
these
if it's small,
little,
it's
little
fine.
cafes. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. There
okay.
are these little, little cafes. Not
Hmm.
many back then, at least. I think now it's very touristy, I've heard.
Hmm.
There are like a couple of them, which is again nice. So I think the next day, the third day, if I have to put it, I was just taking things slow. I was just, walking by and I was just kind of exploring the village there, just watching, just observing. And predominantly everybody smiles at you. Everybody kind of, is like greets you. So yeah,
In
like
English?
Yeah, they
Oh,
definitely.
they make an effort.
Yeah,
Oh,
they make an
cute.
effort in English. Yeah, and they had this Tahoe, if I'm not wrong, the local drink.
Oh,
It's like, yeah, it was very interesting drink. It's more like these street vendors, who just come and sell. I had tried that in Manila, so I was very excited.
alcoholic?
Like, no, not at all.
No.
It's just
Okay.
like one. It's more like a health drink, is what they say. I think sabudana is one ingredient.
Oh,
Some, it's a unique drink. It's very
okay.
nice.
Okay.
It's very
Tahoe,
different. Yeah,
probably.
Tahoe. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
that was very interesting for me. So whoever sold Tahoe there, I'm like, okay, I'll just go grab it. And they were very excited that I was kind of like, enjoying that.
it's a such a local drink that they wouldn't really think that you would be that
Right.
aware of
Yeah,
something locally made like that. I
correct.
was going to say, is it something like toddy? Because you're saying so much of coconut,
No.
coconut, coconut everywhere. That's why I asked whether it was alcoholic or not.
No, it
Interesting.
wasn't. Yeah. So
Okay.
it was that. And then I was just taking a stall, and then I see this cute place. I just walked in. I was just going through the menu there. They had this nice, cute written menu, and I was just trying to go through it. And then there was this person who came out. I think he owns the restaurant, the chef
Hmm.
basically. He comes out and he's like, okay, so what are you looking for, and where are you from? Are you from India? I'm like, yeah. And then he was like, okay, ma'am, would you mind coming in for a dinner? I thought he was closed, for lunch, and I thought, okay, why not? And then I said
Hmm.
I would have an early dinner, probably 6:30, 7ish. And he was like, okay, I'm ready for it. Okay. And then I land up there by 6:30, 6:45. So I see this cute table set up thing,
Oh,
and then
nice.
yeah, I go there, and can you believe that he's googled, he's learned how to make roti, dal, and some rice and some sabzi, and it was mind blowing. It was mind
What
blowing. I'm
kind of
like,
people,
yeah.
man? This is just
Exactly.
amazing. Like someone to
Exactly,
take
like,
an effort to, I mean, I would think that maybe he would use his own things and not put seafood and just put
right.
vegetables in it, but
Yeah,
he's made
and
like an
then
Indian
yeah,
dish.
exactly. And I'm like, what makes you do this? And how did he was like, no, I've been in Dubai and I kind of know Indians, eat certain thing. And then since you mentioned you wanted to try out something veg, and I thought I'll just, and he's made that effort to Google what Indians eat and what are the veg options. And then, like, he's made this. And I'm, this
Blown
is
away,
like, yeah,
man.
exactly right. Like,
Hmm.
what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
This is a real, yeah.
Very special. Really, very
Yeah,
special.
yeah, so
Yeah.
true, so true. And I just enjoyed, and it was so tasty. It was so delicious, unbelievably delicious.
Do you
Like,
by any chance remember the name
no,
of this
like,
cafe?
in fact, like, they don't have this big hoarding as well. It was
Oh, so
just
you
like
just
one
walk
little,
and you
yeah, exactly. Like,
cute cutie place.
yeah. And I was the only
Oh.
one there at that time having dinner. And it's not a very crowded place where, like, even if it is evening, it's filled kind. Probably only one or two tables, like, you'll
Hmm.
find people. That's how it is. So my day was done. I'm like, okay, what more can I ask for? Like,
Cannot get more
yeah,
special than this.
yeah.
Truly, when you're saying
That's
that the
how it was.
locals make an effort, it's
A
true.
lot. They just want to please you, to a point where, you're like, is this for good? Is this, real? That's how it is. Like,
Very
they
sweet.
kind of, they kind of pamper you, like,
I love it.
and then so that's how that day went. And then, like, the next day again, like, I was just happy around going around there, like, talking to the localites. And yeah, like, I think the next day I went to mangrove.
Hmm.
Mangrove was something like, that uh,
What kind of it's a boat ride that
it's
you
a boat ride. It's a boat
okay.
ride. So
Hmm.
you'll just have to walk a bit. It'll lead you to one thing, like, where there are people who guide you. When you just go around, they just guide you there. And then there was this very old man, a very sweet man. Like, he was like, okay, he offered to take me on the ride. And then I think it was some 2000 years old mangrove.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
Wow.
I didn't know it was like that old though.
Oh.
And we had other interesting conversation too. I was more interested to know where he's from, and, like, how
Hmm.
long he's been on the island. And he happens to be a local villager there, and it was
Oh,
good fun.
wow.
And then, like, yeah, and then he's like, do you see the trees? And I'm like, yeah. And then it is right next to me, and then he's like, oh no, you don't do that. Do you see what it is? And then I was so close to touching it, and that was a python, by the way. It's like they're just camouflaged. So that's where you find a lot of python. That mangrove had a lot of pythons.
When you say a lot, how big are these pythons? I've only
No,
seen
these
pythons
are
that are like,
small. Like these are the baby pythons, which is like, yeah. Otherwise,
so
like the
where are
big
the
ones
mama
are
papa
mostly,
pythons then? They must be
they're
somewhere
all like,
there, no?
yeah, they will be around, but not really like visible to us. Probably a little in the dense thing. So this is not extremely dense, no, initially, like when, I mean,
Correct,
around
correct,
the water,
correct,
it's not very dense. So when you
correct.
go a little inside, it's more dense. So that's where they are. Like the
Hmm.
babies are like here. I mean,
And
yeah, they're also like quite big in size, like as in they're not very fat, but then they're like long. So they just coil up to the tree and they just camouflage with the tree. You wouldn't know, like, it's pythons until you spot one or two, and then you see every tree has them. Like, it's like that. Yeah.
I love how you're laughing and telling the story.
And he kept reassuring, no, these are nocturnal until you don't do anything and you talk soft and, you don't really make any triggering sounds and all of that. They're just like, okay. So,
I have to
yeah.
really behave myself when I'm there. And I should not carry speakers where we'll be
Oh,
having
yeah,
music.
yeah.
Where
Right, right.
kidding, kidding. Of course, one should not. But here, doubly, please do not. Oh my God! So how deep do you go in when you're in this boat
This
ride?
was again another like 40, 45 minutes ride. It
Oh,
was quite a big one.
oh
He kept,
yeah. So you
it
do
was
go
good.
decently deep into the forest. I mean the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
mangrove.
you do. Yeah, exactly. It is
What
like,
was the
quite
biggest
interesting.
python did you that you saw? All were baby
I
ones
think,
only?
yeah, mostly the baby ones or a little mid-sized is what like I saw, not the massive, huge ones. Like is something that I didn't come across at least. He said that'll be even more in a denser place. So, I think the localites really blend with the nature. They like really respect it and they don't misbehave there, kind. So they're
Wow,
just that,
man.
like, after 4 in the evening, they suggest not to. I mean, see, they're nocturnal, but still, what if they get active a little early in the evening itself? So,
You
anyway,
live
just
with
that, like,
nature. It's like that. It's just that when we go to such places, people say that, you'll have frogs or you'll have
right,
lizards, which I'm okay
right.
with. I mean, I'm okay with the fact that, no, I don't want to stay in a resort which is like so, oh no, we don't get any
I get it.
lizards and you're
Yeah.
in the middle of a forest. But then, but when it is snake, I'm a little, I'm okay with lions,
Because
man. I'm very brave with lions.
I just saw one baby snake in the pool, the resort that I stayed in. I'm like, okay, no. And then, yeah, and then they clear it up. Of course, they're
Yeah,
there, like, they keep
that's true.
maintaining it. They keep like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, you have to live with nature, man. You want to
right,
experience a place which is untouched by tourists, sort
right,
of untouched by tourists, and as much close to nature as you can, then you have to be okay with such things.
right.
And
Yeah,
I'm totally for it. It's a good thing. It's a different experience. It's nocturnal,
exactly,
please. We are not nocturnal, so let us sleep. Let them do what they want to do. We are having a day to spend,
exactly.
and they are sleeping
Yeah.
that time. It's perfectly fine.
Then what about the most popular UNESCO World Heritage Seven Wonders of the Nature, that cave thing, underwater river cave?
Oh, yeah, like it was, it's a nice thing. Like, it's like very different because it's so blue, it's so like, thing. And then, so they'll guide you that you're not supposed to talk, make any
Hmm.
sounds, no whispering, nothing. You just go in silence and you just like experience it and come out. So you don't talk at all when you're approaching itself. So it's like so bright, so nice and everything. Like, you're just like in the water, very exciting. And suddenly you enter one pitch darkness. So they
Hmm.
ask you not to touch anything and keep your hands like this literally because you could be closer to those cave walls where
Oh,
there are snakes and bats. There are like millions of bats. It has a very different smell though,
oh,
like inside.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Hmm.
Yeah. I don't think it's a flowy river. I think it's a stagnated one because you don't even see waves there, like so. So,
So how can you
like,
see anything inside if it's so dark?
so at one point they'll turn on the torch. And I think
Hmm.
once you get into the dark, it's only the first few minutes. After that,
Hmm.
with your eye, you
Eyes
can
will
see
adjust.
little. It's not like you can really see something, but more of sounds. You can hear the bat sounds, and then there would be certain points there, like they're quite experienced, where they turn on the torch, and then like you can see stuff.
Oh.
So that's how it is. So that's how like I could spot. And I was like shocked the moment I saw. I'm like so many snakes and so many bats. It's like, yeah. and they're just stuck to the walls, very slimy and just stuck to the walls. Those shiny black snakes, the pitch black ones. No, it's like,
Ooh.
yeah.
How big is this boat when you enter this cave?
So this boat, I think, carries about 15, 20 people, like at least
Oh,
15 people
okay.
easily, like it does. When I went, I think we were about 6, 7 of us at least in a
Okay.
boat.
And how do
So
they
they
give
have
you
a specific timing.
instructions?
So before you get started itself, no, like, so you will reach a certain point. From there, you'll have a small ferry ride to this island. And then like you reach this island. So even before you reach the shore, like when you're just walking up to the thing from the ferry, you'll have a guide who's instructing you all of these. Like, and
Oh,
yeah, exactly. So from there on, you lower your voice and you don't talk. And they have these
oh,
signboards
lovely.
as well that, please don't talk kind. So that's how
Nice.
it
They want to
is. Yeah.
maintain that. I think probably because of all the biodiversity inside the cave, it's supposed to be very, very rich inside in
So
all the
true.
different kinds of, I mean, of course, snakes and bats we can see, but lots others that we cannot.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then these stalagmites, what do you
Yeah.
call that? Stalagmites and
Stalactites, stalactites.
stalactites.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stalactites and stalagmites and all of these, no? Like you see those, like it's like the cave's full of that, like basically. So
Something
yeah.
looks like a dinosaur's face, something looks like a frog's face. You'll have all those kinds
Exactly.
when you enter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very true, very true.
So this is a UNESCO World Heritage thing, this underwater river. Very recently, again, I was reading up on this before, we started this conversation. They have recently found that this is a two-tier river. And
Oh,
this cave,
wow.
tourists can go till a very, probably 15 minutes inside or something like that.
Yeah,
But
that's
this
how
is
it is.
much deeper, and there is a second tier river under that.
Yeah, you're right. So they take you until a certain point, and then after that, they don't encourage anybody entering that. So they kind of take a U-turn there and they bring you back. That's how it is.
Mm.
So they explain about this right before itself. And then sometimes you have your audio on. So they give you headphones where, like, you have your audio on where it is explaining. And then when you reach that point, they pause for about like 5 to 8 minutes, and then they have this thing explaining, like, this audio explaining what it is, and like, why we are not supposed to enter. And it's kind of not allowed, like, the public is not allowed to enter there, like, for to preserve the
Hmm.
sanctity there. So that's how it is. And yeah, you return. So
How cool,
yeah,
man. It's
yeah,
a very
yeah.
unique
And
experience.
that's even more pitch black, the cave, like, from there, the other thing that you enter, that's even more pitch dark. Like you can't even, the boats can't
Dur,
go there
dur, the
basically.
sun
Yeah,
rays cannot reach any part of it, kinds.
right, right, right. Exactly.
And what's the color of
Yeah.
the water?
There inside,
Hmm?
inside, it's like you really can't see the water. You can just hear the water because of the boat.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Otherwise, everything looks super dark, and you really have to sit like this and go. Like, it's like, don't put your hands out and keep swaying and enjoying the water. Never touch the water. Yeah, that's one thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
they
my
clearly
God.
instruct. Yeah.
My very, very exciting. Yeah, this is, I mean, I think every trip, every, excursion that you're having from this is one pretty adventure in itself. The first one
Yeah,
was your
exactly.
ATV, where you are
Right,
on two wheels instead of four.
right.
Then you're going on this, place where you have pythons everywhere, this mangrove,
Right.
and then here again pythons. Like, but beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So these were all the 1 week of the kind of one planned activity every day, and the rest
Exactly.
is me and my thoughts and a lot of beach time.
So true. Yeah. And then like nice, good food as well, like packed with good food too. So, and yeah, there's another very interesting thing. So there was this zip line that I wanted to do. And
Oh,
yeah, so that was something again, like, you'll have to travel a good ferry ride, like a 20 minutes ferry ride. And then from there, you literally go across the sea. And then, there are other mountains. And then from there, they take you to one spot where you kind of climb a hill. And from there to another island, you zip.
so niche pani pani.
It's all like you're just zipping on the ocean, above the ocean.
My wow.
when you just look around, it's like just water all over. And when you look down, it's like probably you can see these little sea creatures because the water is so clear
So
and it just
clean.
goes so deep. Like, yeah, and it's so clean, like you said, so clean, unbelievably like clean.
Is it a long zip line?
1.2 kilometers.
Okay. Why I'm
Like,
asking
yeah,
is
10
the
minutes.
first
Like,
few seconds you will be scared,
yeah.
right? So for you
Yeah.
to start enjoying the surroundings, it'll take you a little bit
Yeah, and
further.
it gets over very fast, I felt. Like, you're right.
Yeah.
Initially, you're like, okay, and then like you're looking around, and then you're like, can I do this again? And then you're already done.
It's
It's like
done.
that, yeah.
So everyone has to do it twice.
Yeah, exactly. And
Mm.
people are lucky if they get stuck in between, because there would be one guy who goes from this end, and then like he goes, and then that takes a good 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. So you have those 10 to 12 minutes extra where you can just like have
Just
good
that if
fun.
you're stuck, you'll also get a small heart attack in between.
That's there because yeah, you're just
Yeah,
like
you're like in the middle. You're like, what will
yeah,
happen?
exactly,
But
middle of
small
the
heart attack,
ocean.
if you survive, you can have fun.
Yeah. Middle of the ocean, literally. Yeah.
Oh my God. I would really like it. Huh? I mean, personally, if I'm the person who's stuck, I think I would really, really like it. Maybe I can request. I'll give him like some 100 rupees more. Ki please, I mean, not 100 rupees, I'll something more. But please, मुझे थोड़ा
Obviously,
extra
yeah.
वहाँ पे stop करा दीजिएगा भैया. I should tell. Oh, beautiful, man. Oh, zip
Yeah.
lining also. And what about,
Yeah.
do they have, you said they have scuba and snorkeling and all that around there as well,
Snorkeling,
right?
not scuba, they have
Yeah,
snorkeling.
snorkeling.
So that is something that I missed, and I think I'll keep it for the next trip because these were the things that kept me going. So I thought, okay, let me not pack it. I'll have
Yes,
something to look forward to in the next thing. And I thought I'll save
100%.
snorkeling for some other place probably. Like, so yeah, that's something
Oh,
that I didn't do here.
but they do have, so the
Yeah, they
resort
do
probably
have
would
snorkeling.
have would have masks that you can
Yeah,
rent
yeah, yeah.
and you can like go for a swim and snorkel then and
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Chalo.
Exactly. Just that when I spoke to the people around, the localites and all, they were like, snorkeling could be quite boring when compared to other activities. And that's when I thought,
Oh.
okay, like I'll.
So probably the sea life or the corals and all that are not that colorful
Very
near the
true.
beach.
Must be
Maybe
that.
that's the reason.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I guess they meant. So,
Probably.
yeah,
But chalo,
yeah,
अगर time है तो करने को तुम कर लो.
exactly.
That's it. Did you also explore a bit of the Palawan district as well, or you just stuck to?
Not really. I think
Okay,
I just didn't want to do any urban or a town thing again.
I
It was
completely
more like
agree.
on goal, whatever I just, observed and enjoyed. I just had a good time. Otherwise, I didn't do the Palawan exploring.
Were you a changed person when you came back? One entire week of almost no network kinds, no calls, 5
Exactly.
pictures a day, a
Yeah.
lot of detox, mental
Very
detox.
internalized and very nice, very deep and very deepening experience. And I thought, I was like very heavy hearted when I left the place. I'm like, okay, this just got over too soon. I felt like I just went there the previous day and it's just over. That's how I felt. But then I thought, okay, this has to end this way. And that's when I have a lot of memories. And it was time for me to get back and also probably plan the next holiday
I
like
was
before
going to
that.
say
Yeah.
you need savings for the next one, right?
Yeah.
Every month, adding kinds.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, are you a very solo traveling kind of person? Like, are you
Uh,
fond of being by yourself?
yeah, like after that trip especially, like I think I kind of started enjoying being alone and very comfortable in my own self, and but that's too dangerous too. Like, I think it's good to, and then you kind of don't want to socialize much, and otherwise I was this person who always looks for company and always with people and things like that. But
That's me.
yeah, after this I kind of got comfortable with myself too. But these days what I see is I'm very picky when it comes to a holiday, like that when I have the right company I just enjoy it. Otherwise I'm still okay not going. That's how it's become now. Yeah.
Oh, so this is one thing
Yeah.
that has changed in your traveling style, is
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Hmm.
Before I would just go with any friends and any that's how it used to be. Probably my networking was larger, but now I think it's a little limited and I enjoy that.
Oh.
Yeah, that way, I think that doesn't click with everyone, right? So, yeah.
That's true, because a lot of people like to do a lot of touristy things while traveling and all of that.
Right.
So very often in the end of our podcast, we ask our guests, do you like to have a do nothing day? But I don't think there's any point asking that to you.
I was
Do you
thinking the
like
same thing.
because you like to take things slow, not pack in 10 things in one day kind. So you do have, yeah, you love to be with you yourself, your thoughts. You have a do nothing evening every single day in this trip. Wow, man, I'm very impressed. So you headed back to Manila after this, and then
Manila
back
again,
to.
yeah. And then I was in Manila for about 2 to 3 days after that.
So this time around, did you do anything
I didn't really
Touristy.
explore much like touristy in Manila. Like I was tagging along with my family friends again. So when they go to play tennis, I was like, going there. Or they showed me those other stuff as well, like how the clubs look, like how
Oh,
the
nice.
yeah, like
Like the
it's
everyday
mostly
life
like,
of someone
yeah,
living there, kind. It's
exactly. Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, exactly. So that's how it was. Like, so it was more like blending with the lifestyle and not something very touristy there. And so there was also this really memorable dinner I went to in Manila. This dinner was with my family friends again. So I walk into this little place, like, it's more like a flea market kind. It opens up to a nice flea market kind. Or a very, imagine like, a very England countryside, a
Oh,
Christmas time, right? Like how do those streets look at that time, like
red and festive and
yeah,
all
very
that.
festive and like,
Oh,
very happening. And that's how it was. So I walk into one such street, and then there's this very cute Italian restaurant, which is run by Italians. And that's about like, I think 40, 50 years old. And people who go there are Italians, people who serve there are Italians. It's a complete, I think,
how come?
yeah, like that is very unique, right? I didn't expect that at all. I happen to have a very nice, authentic Italian food, and I'm like, wow. It's still like,
Wow.
yeah, it's still mouth watering when I talk about it. I'm
Oh
like, oh,
man. I'm
yeah,
generally very fond of Italian food, man.
yeah, same here. And and from an Italian itself, serving is like very nice, no? In a non-Italian place, by the way, like, in a
Correct.
non,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my
yeah,
God. Wow.
yeah.
क्या बात है
That
यार, and
was,
that too in the month of June, you're getting this kind of
June,
festive,
exactly.
Christmassy kind of
Yeah,
vibes.
yeah, exactly, right? I think the
Wow.
place is generally decked up that way, like I assume at least, like so.
This place sounds so good, Rakshitha. Please try and recall the name and let us know. We'll put it in the newsletter.
Happily do that.
Definitely, that's a must-try place.
Any yummy local delicacies that you had a chance to try?
Yeah, I was relishing on this thing called pandasil. So it's more like it looks like a pav bun. It's a local dish there, but tastes very different. So I think if you guys go to Manila, you should try this. Pandasil is
Oh,
very interesting.
we'll put it
Yeah,
up in
yeah,
a
yeah.
blog that we
Oh,
write.
yeah,
So this
yeah,
is a
sure,
big
sure.
recommendation. Oh.
Definitely, yeah.
And so then you tasted the first meat after you got back to India?
Yeah, exactly. Which which I actually didn't crave for. Trust me, like, I really didn't crave for. And that's how I had portrayed. So it was more like it was a Sunday thing, and then mom was cooking. And in the morning, I was like, no, I'm not gonna have, I'm gonna be, vegetarian today. And I was the first one to go put my hand into the kadai, and I took it straight from the kadai. I didn't even wait for it to reach my plate. So, yeah.
There is something called a vacation brain and a something called a home brain. You are
So
back
true.
to the home, so home brain got activated.
So
Mommy,
true.
where is the meat?
Exactly. And just
Oh
before I
man.
saw that being cooked, I'm like, oh no, like, I'm definitely not gonna have it. Like, oh, like, what are you guys having? Oh my God, you're so cruel to animals and things.
So
Yeah.
cute, man. Very nice. Tell us, was this your first ever solo travel?
Yeah, exactly. My first solo, and I think one of
And you
the
went
best
international
experiences. Like, yeah,
in the first itself.
right.
Wow.
So I think I
So,
had like different experiences until I reached the airport to leave Manila, like literally. So there was this,
tell
I'd
me.
booked a cab for myself to reach the airport. And then there was this person. So they kind of get into this conversation. Like, oh, you look like a doctor. Oh, you look like this.
Hmm.
and they see how you actually kind of fall for it. And he was like, are you single? And I'm like, okay, why is he asking this? And I'm like, why would you ask this? He's like, no, you look very sweet, and I would be very happy, if you want to see my son and get married to my son. Okay, no, listen.
I was wondering where is this going to read? Where are you?
Yeah.
Where is it going to head to? Oh my God.
And he's like,
Oh,
my son
rishtedari
works
bhi ho gayi
here.
tumhari,
Yeah.
Rakshita. You could have got a married man.
Yeah, that was like, okay, no.
Oh, such kind of conversations.
And
Interesting.
they're very polite that way. He did try to, I don't know, he got into this convincing mode. He started selling his son to me. He's, oh, my son is this, my son is that. Like,
Tall,
I'm
fair,
sure, like,
6 foot
yeah.
2 inches, those kind of things.
Yeah. More like the personality traits, no? He was just trying to sell, things like,
Very
oh,
kind.
he has a lot of respect for Indians. I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh my God. Okay, so if people want to avoid such conversation, just put one ring on your finger and just show like this, like it's a big
Yeah,
heart and
exactly. That's what I exactly did. I'm like, hey, I'm already engaged, and then so do you know someone from India who would be interested in my son? He started like, the very next line was that. I'm like,
very much like Indian parents, man. So much like Indian parents. So we had this, we were in, I'm going back to my Jordan trip. So we met this one person who was fairly senior, okay? Like he must have been in his 50s, and this was a trip we took when we were in early 30s. And this person comes to us and he's like, you're from India? To be like, yeah, you're so beautiful. We like, oh, thank you. We both, our two girls, we got like crazy compliments, so beautiful. You know what? I have 4 begums. I can have one more begum. He tells us this by saying this. So he is selling himself.
oh my
And
God.
like, how do you react? We just burst out laughing. We're not even used to people saying something. It was so
Right.
cute the way he said it, and then we laughed. And he also probably was being like funny, or whatever, this casual flirting or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
He also laughed, and then we continued talking something else. And my second begum is from Mumbai. ऐसी कुछ बोला उसने. Please enjoy. Very cute. So this trip ends on an absolute high for you, followed by the
Totally.
next solo trip happening.
So my very next one, I did quite a few within India, and then one memorable one was the Uttarakhand.
Oh,
Yeah, the Binsar Valley, Kasar Devi. So
I love
these
that
were the
place,
places.
man.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Very
totally.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. So you know what, you try and do one solo a year.
Like,
the
not
extent
really that I
possible.
have a set thing. It's more like,
Okay.
with the flow. I just go with the flow. If I really feel like doing, and then I go. That's how it is.
I greatly admire people who can travel solo, and I haven't yet tried a solo vacation myself. I always,
It's
I
good
don't
fun.
think, I love talking. I love talking. So I always feel that I might just get a little bored. Though Godly keeps saying that
Not
you'll find
really.
a taxi wala to talk to, you'll find someone to talk
Yeah.
to.
And you'll find a lot of localites, observe a lot of things. You'll end up like, it's not like you're not talking at all. You would still have people. Just that, like, you wouldn't have people with you always, but still, like, it's so interesting.
Try, Revit. Try. You will enjoy it
You
because it's
must,
like
you
a
must.
variety of different people talking to you when you're traveling.
Exactly.
That's true. Chalo, 2024 resolution, one trip I'll do. I'll try and do this one solo thing. Rakshita, I will give credit
Sure.
to you, okay?
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I just love the descriptions that you told about the place, man. I might just do Philippines. So what is, tell us one something that was your absolute highlight from this entire vacation. It need not be a place, it can be an experience, but one thing that
Okay.
really stood out.
Probably the waterfall meditative stuff. Like, that was very nice. And something that I collected for myself as a souvenir is I got this cute jam jar from the hotel, and I picked the sand, and then like they collected those shells, and it's still so intact. It's still so intact. Sometimes when I really think, see, now probably after this I would go and like feel that sand in.
How
It feels more real,
sweet,
yeah.
man. That's a real souvenir. Instead of going and
Yeah.
buying something like a
Yeah.
keychain or a magnet or something like that, this is a
Right.
real souvenir. Like you feel very connected because you've picked
Right.
it yourself and
Yeah.
brought it all the way from there to here. How lovely.
It's a
I
good
love
gift
this.
also, by the way. I remember a friend going to Thailand and doing this, like collecting white sand and shells and then gifting it to me. I felt like, oh wow, so cute.
Yeah.
I've never thought of
So
picking
true.
up sand. I always pick up pebbles from rivers, from riversides. I love these.
Okay.
And then I have this one big, this tray kind of things. So I have a tray, a glass tray just near my door. So I have that jar with all stones from different rivers
Oh
that I have picked up.
wow.
Just like one from here, one from there. I
That's
keep picking
interesting.
up something
Wow.
completely black and be half black, half white. So I keep picking up these pebbles. Oh, Rakshita, maza aa gaya, man. I loved the entire
Yeah.
vacation, man. It's such a relaxing thing. It's not a busy vacation. One doesn't do that very often. So this is really, really nice. I had a fun
Thank you
time
so
listening to
much.
your stories.
Same here, it literally took me back to those, and I was really reliving that. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Godly. And thank you, Revati.
You actually narrated them as if you were like giving me a day-to-day thing, where if suppose you were sitting there and we were friends and you were chatting with me, this is exactly how you would have said it. And this is like after some 3-4 years. So I am amazed with your memory also, man. Very
But
impressive.
thanks to you, because you really gave that time, and you were also like kind of like, it was very easy for me. This is my first podcast experience, and I must tell you, you just made me so comfortable that I wasn't conscious at all, and it just happened in a flow.
I'm so glad you felt that way. Please give Pixar a big hug, man.
Oh yeah, sure, definitely.
If Pixar has an Instagram account, please share the
Oh
pictures.
yeah, I will. He does. It's handled by my husband. Because
Please
I'm out
share.
of all the social media, so I'll let my husband know. He's the one who handles his, like, yeah.
Oh my God, you're off social media.
So this happened after the trip. These are the side effects of that trip, basically. So,
But I will look forward to Pixar's Instagram handle.
oh yeah,
And
sure.
and we're putting it on our blog. We'll also be putting it on our Instagram page. And we will tag Pixar instead of tagging you there.
Yeah.
Pixar ki maa. Chalo, fantastic conversation, Rakshita.
Yeah.
I loved chatting with you.
Same here. The time just flew, seriously.
Flew, see,
I
I
just
know.
didn't feel that at
100%.
all.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
so much, so
Godly.
much.
Thank you, Revati.
Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
time.
You too. Yeah,
See
sure.
ya.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Sadly, this podcast vacation with Rakshita is over, but wasn't it a super fun one?
Totally, yeah. And you'd be happy to know that we have now started a new service of curating travel itineraries to the destinations made just for you. So, if you want to get a vacation plan, leave us a note on Instagram or a DM on our Substack page, and we will plan something very special for you. As always, we have put all the lovely pictures that Rakshita clicked on her vacation on our Substack and on Instagram too. We are called The Misadventures of a Sneaker. Also, if you enjoyed listening to this episode, would you like to support our team by buying us a coffee? If yes, you can head on over to our show notes and click on support to contribute any amount you like. It'll be a huge morale booster for us. Thank you.